Paste Magazine's 30 Best Time Travel Movies, Part 2, numbers 20 through 11. Hi, welcome to Garage Geek. So today we are going to go over the next section of time travel movies.
20.
At number 20, we have 2007's Time Crimes. And this is a movie that I absolutely enjoyed. I think I saw it twice, but I haven't seen it in a really long time. This one is super low budget, but I thought very effective. It plays with the trope of, well, I don't want to reveal it in case you haven't seen it. The same trope is going to be in Predestination, which is also on this list for today. But at the time, I wasn't aware of the trope, and so this movie, it really, really worked for me. But even if you know the trope, I think that this movie can still be very, very effective, especially when you consider what a low-budget film this is. Let's go ahead and watch the trailer. So as you can see, that is very low budget, and I'm shocked that they actually gave away the movie in the trailer. In the trailer, you realize that everybody that he meets is another incarnation of himself at different time periods, which, once you know that, like, that's really a huge spoiler to give away in the trailer. I think this movie is based on the fact that you don't know it's himself. And of course, the trope that I'm talking about is whenever in a time travel movie you ever see someone in a mask or with their face covered up, then you know it's probably the main character at a different point in time, which I'm kind of sad that they gave that away, but I really do want to rewatch this movie.
19.
Number 19 is Donnie Darko from 2001, and I've only seen this movie once, and I saw it right when it came out. I have to admit that I was kind of mystified and bored. This is such an independent darling, and I actually really like Jake Gyllenhaal. And it's such a well-loved movie that I really do need to give it another watch. For me, this movie just doesn't stand out as being something that is just going to grab my attention from beginning to end. But like I said, I really do need to give it another watch. If this is a movie that you really, really love, would you please put that in the comments? Let's go ahead and watch the trailer.
Wake up, Donnie. 6 hours. Do you believe in time travel? Wake up.
You want to tell Mom and Dad why you stopped taking your medication?
Wake up, Donnie.
Yeah, it looks really intriguing. I just remember that it was an interesting movie, but it left me with a lot of questions as to what was really going on and what was reality, and was it his psychosis? I do remember that now after watching this trailer.
18.
Okay, number 18 is probably one of my favorite movies on this whole list, and that is Time After Time from 1979. My name is H.G. Wells, and I came here in a time machine of my own creation. I haven't seen this movie in years, and I remember that line when he's being interrogated. This is such a fun movie. Mary Steenburgen is, I remember her being wooden, but I didn't care. I just loved this movie so much. The villain who plays Jack the Ripper is really good too. What's his name? Oh, it's right there. It's David Warner. This movie is fun from beginning to end.
For he is pursuing Jack the Ripper, a villain who has eluded his fate by escaping into time.
I'm obliged to take you back to face the consequences of your acts.
You take me back. How'd you propose to do that? By force?
Be reasonable, John. We don't belong here.
HG, it's checkmate. We've lost again.
The world, and across a century.
I know how it ends.
Time after time.
Now, maybe you can't tell from that trailer, but that movie is so much fun, and I really had a blast watching the trailer. This movie is definitely of its time, but that's kind of the charm in a time travel movie. So he travels to, the late 70s or early 80s, something like that. Just so much fun. I really want to watch that movie right now.
17.
Hey, number 17 is Predestination from 2014. And this is a movie that I just recently rewatched and reviewed in a recent Friday night chat. I love this movie. I think it's great. It also seems low budget. I'm not sure if that's true or not, but it's got two great actors who really work well together. Now, this takes some of the time travel tropes of which came first, the chicken or the egg, and it just runs with it. And by the end of this movie, your head is hurting trying to figure out exactly how everything happened, but it doesn't matter because it's so creative and so much fun. I think Predestination is definitely a movie everyone should watch just for the acting alone. The two of these actors together really do work well together.
The man that ruined your life. Would you kill him? I'm a temporal agent. We prevent crime before it takes place.
What is it?
It's a time machine. Don't ever exceed the jump limit. It can be problematic. If you ever want to stop the Fizzle Bomber, you'll never get another chance. Time, it catches up with us all. I know where I come from, but where do all you zombies come from?
So at the end of the trailer, you heard him say, "Where do all you zombies come from?" And that's actually the title of the short story from Robert Heinlein. It's a movie I thoroughly enjoyed. Even watching it the second time, I was still mesmerized, especially by the performances of the leads. I think that is a great time travel movie that really makes your head hurt.
16.
Number 16 on this list is going to be a crowd pleaser, and that's X-Men Days of Future Past from 2014. Bryan Singer. Absolutely loved this movie. I'm a big fan of the franchise, and I know there have been some missteps. In fact, the critic wrote here that this is pretty funny. This movie is not so much about preventing a dystopian future, but it's more about eliminating the events of X-Men The Last Stand from the collective timeline. It just never happened. Thank you, time travel. Thank you. Which is pretty snarky. But this movie was really a lot of fun. It introduced a whole new cast of characters, a younger generation, which seems to be something, again, of a trope. But at the time, this was kind of interesting because, you know, when we talked about Star Trek, they rebooted the series doing the same thing. We have the original cast of characters and they were aging. And so we got this whole new generation of actors to be able to play the same parts just by introducing a time travel element. Pretty cool.
Wake up in a young body and then what? Find me. Convince me all of this. Melvin, I was a very different man. Guiding me. We need you to hope again.
Okay, I own that one, so I think I'm going to be watching that one pretty soon. What a great movie that is.
15.
Speaking of movies that I have to see again, here's one that I don't. So this is number 15, Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure from 1989. I recently watched the first two movies. I'm not sure if I saw the third one because I don't think it was available. It doesn't matter. These are forgettable movies. To me, I'm just not that much into comedies, and I know how influential this movie is and how important it is. But to me, it's just silly, not that enjoyable. I guess I like my time travel to be serious. Having said that, yeah, this is an important movie. It's not horrible by any means. It's just not a movie that I would run to rewatch anytime soon.
So magnificent and so vast.
Who was Joan of Arc?
And Ted.
Noah's wife? We're in danger of flunking most heinously tomorrow.
A force from a few.
In the Iron Maiden. Excellent! Execute them. Historical babes.
Historical.
Now they're home.
So all the best jokes are in the trailer. Even watching that trailer and laughing a lot, I do not want to watch that movie again. Yeah, if you love comedies, then do I have to say pop it in and party on, dudes?
14.
Number 14 is Midnight in Paris in 2011 by Woody Allen. Now, I've seen so many Woody Allen movies, but I haven't watched one in a long time, and I actually don't remember this. This would be a movie that I would definitely need to watch. I've always wanted to go through Woody Allen's entire catalog and just watch all the movies he's done in a row. Since this involves time travel, I really do need to watch this and watch it soon.
very perplexing situation.
It looks like a really fun movie. Basically, this is a more character study. I see a person who's struggling in a relationship and has a dalliance and then realizes who he truly loves. And it's just built around the time travel vehicles. Maybe in a sense a romance, but still, Woody Allen is a master filmmaker and I really do need to see this movie.
13,
Number 13 is another movie that I've seen only once, but I really, really enjoyed the atmosphere of this movie. It's also low budget, and this is 2017's The Endless. This one is hard to describe. It's more like, I know it's time, but also space and alternate dimensions, and a lot goes on in this movie, but it is done on a little budget. And what I really liked about this movie is there was one or two other movies that these directors made before, and they tie in events from those movies into this one, and it's really neat. So if you happen to have watched those movies, you will get a bigger kick out of this movie. Like I said, I really enjoyed the atmosphere of this, the tone of it. It's definitely low budget, but it is worth watching.
That's why we left the cult.
We couldn't be happier.
All in like their 40s, they just look young.
Be happier.
I do remember that the movie does leave a lot of questions unanswered. I had a criticism about that with Donnie Darko, but in this movie, just the visuals and everything, the mystery, the tone, it just really, really worked.
12,
Number 12 is Palm Springs from 2020. And this is another of the time loop movies. I always seem to really enjoy time loop movies. And I remember really, really enjoying this movie. I think this one is readily available on either Hulu or Netflix.
Don't come in here!
It's one of those infinite time loop situations you might have heard about.
That I might have heard about.
Yeah.
Well, then what's the point of living?
We kind of have no choice but to live.
No, I'm gonna get out of this.
Suit yourself. See you tomorrow.
Let's waste some time.
At least you have each other. Nothing worse than going through this shit alone.
I might have to watch that movie tonight.
11,
And we're ending part 2's list with a banger. In my opinion, this should probably be number 1. This is one of my favorite movies, Interstellar from 2014. I know a lot of people out there dislike this movie with a passion. It just hit all the right notes for me. The music, the action, the acting. I think Matthew McConaughey is so good in this movie. It's a sci-fi movie, space adventure that includes time travel, time dilation. Oh, just that planet, the water planet. I could watch that scene over and over again. That scene is so good. And especially once you know that the background music, there's ticking involved. And once you understand what each one of those ticks means, that movie is just so good. And even though it's like, 3 hours, I could watch it over and over again. It's like The Matrix for me. If The Matrix is playing, I just have to stop and watch it. And the same with Interstellar. I absolutely love this movie. I can't gush enough about this movie. Now, some people didn't like the philosophy in the movie. I did. I really liked it, and I'm not going to defend it. I love this movie. And certain movies are for certain people, and then Christopher Nolan is an amazing director. And this, to me, was one of his crowd-pleasing hits, and it just works for me. I love Interstellar, if I didn't say that already. Oh, and did I mention how great the score is?
But your plan is to save the world.
We're not meant to save the world. We're meant to leave it.
I've got kids, Professor.
Get out there and save them. We must confront the reality of interstellar travel.
So there you have Paste Magazine's best time travel movies, numbers 20 to 11. What did you think? Do you have a favorite on this list? Are you excited to get from numbers 10 to 1. And all you have to do is an internet search. Or you could just wait another week for my video. As always, your comments are appreciated. And if you disagree with one of the movies that I really like or a movie I disliked, that's fine. Go ahead and write that in the comments. I love the interaction. And again, I want to thank everyone for the support.